All right, Bertram fans, this is episode 10, and the Volvo Penta D4s are going in. Stick around. That's coming up here later in the video. First, I have to start with this. You would not believe how much I had to struggle to get that U-bolt around that conduit and back through those two holes. When I finally got it done, I felt like I ran a marathon. I felt like I'd climbed Mount Everest, or I won the National Spelling Bee, or something like that. It was a challenge. I just don't quit. I don't give up. Not that easily. Back to the video. Here in episode 10, kind of picking up where we left off in episode 9. Oh, wait a second. I gotta tell you about this. This is the marine plywood that was used in 1969. I found this piece, and I still can't quite remember where I cut it out of the Bertram. But I cut it out about 5 years ago, and it was laying around the shop. And man, that is the prettiest wood I've ever seen. If I could find wood like that, I would use wood as opposed to Kusa today. What I'm trying to show in this short little clip here of the panel is the lack of puddles and excess resin on the surface of that 3/4 ounce mat. The 3/4 ounce mat is a sacrificial layer. It adds a little bit of strength, but not much. Its job is to soak up the excess resin and draw it out of the trevera. And we use it as a tool. I use it as a tool. And real quick, the pails hanging from the corners, those did actually function. They held the melamine flat and allowed that trevera to cure in a flat, on a flat plane. As that trevera cures, it creates a lot of heat and a lot of more shrinkage than you would typically get. It's resin to, it's not fiberglass, but it's a high ratio of resin to whatever material you want to call it, spun polyester. So there's a bit more shrinkage in that, even though I am using vinyl ester resin. That excess shrinkage also causes it to lift up and curl and distort. And so you have to hold it flat until it's cured. Once it cools down, it stays flat. So that's what's going on there. But if you look at the cleanliness of the work, I kind of want to go a little direction there. I worked with a couple fellas from the original Garlington crew. And when I'm talking about Garlington, I'm talking about the original Richard Garlington crew. And these guys were meticulous fiberglass craftsmen. They were told by Richard Garlington that the owner could walk in at any point of the build and that the fiberglass needed to look clean in a manner that the owner would be proud to look at what he sees. I'm not sure the exact words. I never was given a quote, but it was along those lines there, that the owner needed to be able to look at what he sees and be proud of it. That was instilled in those guys, and they kind of, I followed their lead. And fiberglass can be clean. It can be done clean. It comes to us in clean white pails, shiny black drums. It doesn't have to be a mess. It's the humans working with it that turn it into a mess and just say, oh, it's a messy job. No, it's the people that are working with it make it messy. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. Sorry about that. Man, I had to get that out. I had to vent. This is the Helm pod. And if you look at that yellowish filler, that was repairing some cracks that the plug actually got wet. It was on the boat and did get wet, swelled up and cracked. I did not allow that filler a long enough time to cure before I waxed that plug. It released everywhere except for where the filler was, which was all over it. And I had to destroy that plug to get the skin out without fracturing the skin, which I could use as a mold. Long story short, didn't even end up using it. These are the panels that were cut up from that trevera panel that was built on the mold. These are Raycore panels, what we call them. Those will hold the Raycores, port and starboard side, as in addition to like a transfer pump. They will also hold the fuel pumps and fuel filters for the generator on the port side. Now, this here is the original Flybridge liner tub. It was riddled with holes and leaked, and there was air gaps that allowed hot, humid air from outside to meet cold, dry air on the inside, which causes, I believe it's condensation. Moisture is what I call it. And the entire Flybridge would sweat and would drip down and get inside above the headliner and in some of the cabinetry. I cut that son of a bitch out. Keeping in mind it was very lightweight, I am templating what will make a full-length tub all the way to the front of the Flybridge using 3/4 inch Divinycell. I think this is 3.5 pound density or 4 pound density, somewhere in that range. I'm going to keep that, whatever I put back in there, super light, super stiff, a lot more space, but mainly waterproof it. I want to be able to take a hose and spray in there if you want to spray all your electrical equipment in there. My point is, and make actually dry storage, I want it sealed. Now that full sheet of 3/4 inch Divinycell is laying on the floor. It was primed with vinyl ester resin and then laid up with 1708 there and a 3/4 ounce sacrificial layer on top. There you can see the full sheet laid up. That is one side. I'll flip it, put a bow in it when we get to that. This is the toilet discharge. This is in PVC. It will end up getting finished paint. It needs to go under the starboard engine, so we have to have that done before the engines can go in. They're coming up very soon. These are Tide's shaft seals. There is also a spare seal carrier that goes in front of that, and a shaft brush. In the yellow tape behind the strut shows the spacing that we need from the taper to the back of the strut. And this is looking down the port side of the engine room. Generator complete. Just in front of that generator, the hydraulic systems, autopilot, and power assist. We have a pretty unique steering system. You'll see the cylinder and the helm later. Generator is complete. Custom air intake, where we ran that plumbing to put the air filter behind the generator instead of right beside the engine. And this is the starboard side. All electrical systems complete at this point. The electrical was done by Integ Marine Systems out of Stuart, Florida. Clay and Robert. And these engine isolators are waiting for those engines to be flown in the next day. Those are painted. They come from Volvo with a matte black finish. Sitting on those stainless steel engine beds. If you didn't see that, go back to the earlier videos. That hole is for the raw water intakes for the port engine only. The starboard engine is very easy to plumb. There's a boom truck that will be hoisting our engines in for us. This is the port motor flying in.
Alright, so we gotta put the transmission ones back on.
There she is, at her home. At this point, it's set about an inch further forward, sitting on some cardboard. We did have to do a little fitting around the transmission. Minor. There's always some expected twists and turns. And this is the starboard engine. Resting in her home. There they are. I wish I got more videos. This is what I have. I was actually working, not holding my phone the whole time. So I got some short clips. I'll end up getting some real good detailed videos. Here we're looking at surge tubes and risers. And that is a surge tube. That green tape is holding all them pieces together. All the mitered tube. Green tape on the inside. That's how I hold them together. And then I mud the outside. It's got an end cap on there. Mudded on. Glued on. This is for the starboard engine. Quite a twisty, turny little item there. That was no easy task. Here the struts are dry fit. And there the starboard strut is bedded with 52 million. 5,200. I think we did regular cure. I have never seen a propeller shaft move so freely. It's properly bedded, no shims. We did not have to float those struts in epoxy or anything, no shims. And that shaft will nearly fall out if you pull on it. If it didn't have a coupler on the inside, it'd probably just slide right out the boat. This is the port side, bedded the next day. We ran out of daylight, and it is damn near as good as the starboard side. However, I do think the barrel of the strut on the port side may have a little bit of a warpage. It's just a teeny tiny bit tighter than the other one. Not bad. These are the holes for the Limshore underwater lights. Those set just inside of the rudder posts. I think these are blue and white, dimmable. Those are installed. We used 4,000 4,000 is a medium strength. You can remove those if you want. Those are recessed, you can see right there. Recessed into the hull to reduce drag and increase propeller efficiency. So this is pretty much going to wrap up episode 10, although I will let this video just continue to run. You can watch it if you want. It's just me working on that search tube after I eat my chicken sandwich. And I just want to say thank you to all the subscribers that I have so far. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the input. Thank you for the comments. A couple of you I kind of enjoy going back and forth with.
Deliciousness.
We're approaching 1,000 subscribers. It is February 11th, 2024. This is Super Bowl Sunday, so I'm going to call it good for now. You guys can watch it if you want.
For the starboard engine.
We'll pick up again, doing mods to the engine boxes.
End cap blast on there.
There's still a ways to go. I hope you all enjoy it. Enjoy your Sunday. We'll catch up again in episode 11. Y'all take care. Thanks. Bye.
On all the other exhaust mods. This will actually go into the muffler. This is directly out of the mixing elbow. Turbo here, mixing elbow here. Water's injected right there. It'll come around and then dump into the muffler, starboard muffler. And so this is all being glued together. One cool little trick, but all that tape that holds those seams together holds it good enough that we can put the glue on the outside. I bevel the edges, chamfer them a little bit, bevel, whatever you want to say, and then I glue them together like that. I can go back to sand them. It's more than just a surge tube because it's making a very complex turn in the engine where the exhaust comes out of the mixing elbow, dumps right into here, actually makes a big giant loop and then comes back around. So you're taking the exhaust coming out, you're making an S turn, triple S turn to get it into this muffler. But hopefully it works. So, and doesn't cause a lot of back pressure. We can afford a little back pressure because we're going 4-inch into a 5-inch muffler. And 5-inch all the way out. Very straight after it exits the muffler. So we should be good. If we have too much back pressure, after we do sea trial and check how much back pressure we end up with, we'll have to edit that. Oh, how do you drive this thing? God damn it. I fixed this once. Ah, you motherfucker. Joystick's pointing the wrong way. If we have back pressure issues, we will fix that by diverting a little cooling water, exhaust cooling water, elsewhere. Not sponsored by Chick-fil-A, but damn good Arnold Palmer. They make real lemonade. All right, we'll talk to you later. Let's see, I need one of these. One of these. Might need one of these. Probably gonna need one of these. One of these. And we'll start there. See what kind of mess we can make. Alright. Don't get noisy with the compressor.
And if you like what I'm doing, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel, maybe share with a friend, and I'll keep doing it. Thank you.